in a world where everything we've ever known is crumbling, everything we've ever thought to be true turns out to be a lie, everything that we've ever put any faith in turns out to be a satanic baby munching monster. I mean, we can't even cross the street without having woke shit forced down our throat, having to walk over some rainbow or something. Can we distract ourselves with a bit of sports ball still? No, that's gone woke as fuck too. Do you remember the glory days? Do you remember transfer deadline night? Oh my god, I used to look forward to that so much. I used to cancel anything and everything. I used to dedicate my whole evening from 5 PM to 10 PM watching Sky Sports News, sat with Jim White and his yellow tie. It was iconic. It was the perfect distraction we needed from this world, because actually that is all sport is. We'll get into that shortly, or watching sport certainly. But it was great. You know, we need distractions from life, from reality, because it's fucking harrowing, and it's got a lot worse since Jim White was sat down in his yellow tie. But anyway, this is what we got this year. We got fucking Prince. I mean, what the fuck is that? What is that? Is it a man? Is it a woman? Why the fuck is it talking about football? It looks like it should be in a fucking drag show. Like, why? What? Why is this shit being forced down our throats? Why do we have to listen to this person talk about football? I mean, has it ever played football? If it has, presumably it's going to be women's football. Not the same thing. No one cares. Just a totally different experience. You can't then come and talk about the men's game. Two totally separate things. What is that? I mean, it's hard to even look at. Honestly, the glory days of Soccer Saturday, the glory days of Jeff and the boys, you know, a set of men who lived and breathed football, who ran the show together for years, who used to spend a whole weekend together in a hotel. You could see it. You could see the camaraderie. You could see the fact that they could take the piss out of each other and not have to worry about offending. I was watching some crappy fucking Sheffield Wednesday podcast that buys into all the woke shit. They always make sure they've got, you know, at least a half cast on there. They've always got a woman on there. Fucking terrible. Don't know why I watch it. And the presenter on this show is a bit of a character. He likes to take the piss out of people. You know, he likes to just have a bit of banter and a bit of fun. He never, ever does it with a female. You know, he's so scared of her fragile, fucking emotional wreck of a state that he won't have any banter with her. And the other week he disagreed with her, and he said, before he did it, he said, I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I'm going to disagree with Charlie. I made this big thing about it, you know, clearly because she's a woman. You know, if women can't take banter, if women can't be part of banter, if a show has to lose all its banter because a woman's on it, maybe she shouldn't be on it. I use that example because obviously I don't watch Sky Sports anymore, but I'm sure the same is true of Soccer Saturday. I mean, the little bits I have seen months ago when I was at my parents' house, there was no banter, there was no camaraderie. It was just woke token shit. I mean, look at this. This is a current panel, you know. It's not about personalities, it's not about experience, it's not about knowledge, it's about having two blacks and a couple of women. Like, fuck off. Boring. And then we've got this fucking whale. I mean, what the fuck is this? Remember the days of Richard Keys and what was his racist sidekick called? I don't know. Andy Gray. He was good. And what they got rid of them because they talked about slapping a woman's arse or something off camera. You know, just a completely male, laddish, banterish conversation, but was off camera, but was meant to be private. They got sacked, and now we've descended to this. Some fucking whale. I mean, what the fuck? Why are we listening to that? What is that? I'm about to go into my theories on why they're doing this from a, you know, bigger perspective of, you know, control and enslavement. But I'll introduce one now. I think it's all part of the dumbing down of society. You know, we've gone from, like I say, Andy Gray and Richard Keys, who were intelligent, logical, could really break stuff down tactically, you know, actually teach you stuff. Okay, but only about sports ball. It's all fucking irrelevant. But, you know, it was of a high intellect. Whereas what they're doing across all media is just dumbing down the content. You know, every year it gets a little bit more zombified, a little bit fucking more retarded. And you can see it. You can see it in the people. Like, look at this clip from, I don't know, 50s or 60s. Like, these are working class people. Look how intellectual they are. Look how eloquent they are.
Meet friends in there. We can't go into the locals anymore. They're full up with noisy foreigners, and we don't like it.
We
haven't got a place left where we, the English people, can go and enjoy ourselves in this town.
After going through 2 world wars, we should at least have the dignity of being allowed to live with our own kind.
And compare that to people of today. Compare that to people of today that are listening to fucking rap music and Cardi B fucking talk about a fanny. Like, it's an intentional dumbing down of the population so that they can enslave us. And then obviously they're also bringing in a load of fucking dumbass, low IQ invaders, so they'll, you know, genetically, through interbreeding, they'll also bring the IQ down. So they're dumbing us down with the media, they're dumbing us down genetically. We're all just going to be, well, we already are, just controllable little zombies. And of course, when we're not talking about women's football, which anyone who watches Sky Sports News will just, well, not be able to watch it anymore, because they'll say in the next segment we're talking about Arsenal versus Man United, and you're like, oh right, great, I didn't know they were playing, and then it comes on and they're talking about women's football, like, just ramming this woke shit down your throat. And if they're not doing that, they're trying to turn you fucking gay.
Now, this week marks the launch of Premier League with Pride, a new initiative that brings together the ongoing LGBTQ+ work the league and clubs carry out across the year to help deliver long-term change. To discuss that and more, I'm delighted to say I can speak live to 2 members of Leeds' LGBTQ+ fan group marching out together, Michelle Keatman and Maria Ferguson.
No, we don't give a fuck what they've got to say. They're nothing to do with anything. They're just 2 virtue-signalling libtards that are just completely retarded. That are, you know, getting jabbed up and going out saying refugees are welcome here while everyone gets raped and we're moving fast towards Sharia law. Like, why would we give a fuck what these... I can't say it, can I? I can't say it. But what these low-grade, low IQ... completely conditioned, brainwashed zombies have to say. I did find myself laughing at myself last night as I was sat listening to a Sheffield Wednesday podcast that was live streaming a 4-0 defeat to Swansea. Sheffield Wednesday are in administration. We've won 1 game this season. I think it's 24 games now where we haven't scored a goal. We're setting all sorts of new records for absolute crapness. I already know that football is a complete distraction. It's a replacement for ceremony. You know, it's a replacement for men getting around the fire together, basically. You know, we all used to sit in a circle. We all probably used to put our tribal garments on with football kit. We all used to chant, you know, football songs. We all used to worship the fire in the middle. Now we worship 22 millionaires kicking a bag of air. You know, that's what it's a replacement for. And it's actually a huge satanic ritual. I mean, look at the shapes of all new stadiums. It's funny how they all seem to resemble lizard eyes, isn't it? Oh, it's as if we're controlled by reptilians or something, and they're making some sort of big satanic ritual where you all get in a circle and pay homage to the great lizard god. It's incredible, isn't it? Like, the Epstein files have just been released. We now know for a fact that, maybe I still need to say allegedly, because obviously no one's gone through court, nobody has been arrested, because actually nobody cares. People are still more interested in their sports ball presented to them by some black gay retard than the fact that, you know, politicians are eating babies. I mean, it is truly fascinating.
All y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal. They can laugh, but y'all can Google it. They can laugh, but y'all can Google it. The Epstein files have been released, and all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal.
They really constipated. They might not lost their goddamn mind.
Airport is acting normal.
Everybody's calling.
No, you shut the fuck up.
Wait, don't say nothing.
Because the Epstein files, what I'm reading, and everybody in this room can read. If you go to Google right now, everybody in this room can read. They are eating babies. They are trafficking children. And if you think for a second any fucking thing in your life matters. You are on the fucking wrong side of history. You are on the fucking wrong side of history.
So I'm doing it too. I'm sat watching this live stream of a meaningless game in a meaningless season of a sport that's meaningless anyway and is already just a complete distraction from reality. And I know that, and I'm still doing it. And then the side of me that, you know, is a little bit cheeky, that likes to test people, that likes to see where people are at. You know, obviously everyone's just talking about the game. And I drop a comment in there saying something like, I love how we all pretend that football matters while we know that politicians are eating babies. And the presenter is reading literally every single comment out. And it just goes straight past mine, obviously. Nobody bats an eyelid to it, you know, everyone just carries on the football conversation. Everyone just completely ignores my comment. And it's just fascinating, you know, it's just fascinating, like the level of desperation people are going to just keep themselves in a zombified state while all this information comes out about the reality of our world and the fact that, you know, we have satanic baby munching nonsense running the world. Yet nothing's going to happen. Everyone's just going to carry on as normal. Not only that, we're going to ignore the satanic rituals that they have at the start of all the sports balls. Luckily, football, you know, isn't too satanic. You know, it's gone super woke and gay, but we don't have like full-on satanic shows like we do at the start of the Olympics. Or apparently in the NFL show now, apparently that was super satanic. And America now has a anthem for black people, it seems. Can it get any more just unbearable to watch? Like, they really are trying their hardest to destroy it. I mean, maybe that's what they want now. Maybe they don't need us distracted anymore. Maybe, you know, I think they're so deep-seated in their power. And I think every single one of these things, you know, like COVID, the Epstein files, all of them, it's all just a test. It's all just like, how much will they accept? How much will they accept? How much will they accept? And we fail every single time. I mean, they have literally just come out and told us that they're all baby munching nonsense, and that there's a certain group of it's them every time people that control the world and refer to us all as cattle. And we're just carrying on watching the sports ball. I mean, one thing I can say is it's truly an incredible time to be alive. Truly an incredible time to be witnessing people's reactions to disclosure and the reality of this world, and my own. You know, like, I'm not doing anything. I mean, I'm making these videos, but what do you do? Like, I don't know. And you know what also really hit me in that comment section last night is, you know, when you spend all your life basically on X or alone looking at a tree, you kind of think, oh, right, yeah, people are waking up because basically all you see of people is X. But then you go into these sports ball comments and you just see how brain dead everyone is and how zombified everyone is, and how desperate they are to hold on to this distraction, this meaningless distraction, this fake charade that men kicking a ball around even matters. I mean, it is fucking crazy when you think about it. But I do it too, because we're fucking crazy. We're being conditioned to be crazy. Hence why we live in such a crazy world. Oh, and the fact that it's ran by baby munching Satanists probably doesn't help. So I think we're at the point of the agenda, the control system, where they want to take everything away now that gives us any sort of comfort. You know, like, this wouldn't have happened 5 years ago if a man came out and said something as outrageous as Gary Neville did, and 92% of the customers wanted him to leave. He wouldn't have kept his job. You know, there would have been at least a mirage, an image that they care, or they actually would have cared back then about profits still. But it's not about profits now. It's, you know, it's full on about energy harvesting. It's about lizards feeding off your fear. That's what it's about. So I think now what they're doing is they're destroying the last few things that, you know, keep people in any sort of state of calmness, or just zombification, basically, is all it is now. But they want people in full-on turmoil now, like full-on despair, full-on fear, because that's what they feed off. They feed off that energy. I think literally, but you could, if you're not quite ready to accept the, you know, the real realities of this world, if you still want to pretend that everyone's human and, you know, just interested in money and power, then you know, you could say they're using that fear to control people, but it's actually much more than that. It's full-on energy harvesting in a crazy spiritual battle. So are you still distracting yourself? I am. Are you aware that you're distracting yourself, or are you still pretending it matters? You know, are you still pretending it that any of this fucking show matters? It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting, self-observing and, you know, seeing where you're at, how much you're willing to surrender to the truth, open to the truth, and how much you still need to distract yourself, whether it's like or working, or smoking, or drinking, or zombie fighting out to sports ball. You know, always just observing. How ready am I? How ready am I to take back my power? How ready am I to stand up to the system? How ready am I to risk my reputation amongst plebs, family and friends, to actually speak the truth and stand for something? Or am I just going to carry on being scared of what people think? Ooh, what will my mum say? Ooh, what if I get sacked from my fucking zombie job? You know, like, just constantly asking ourselves these questions and trying to just step up a little bit more, or step away from the system. I think that's actually the most powerful thing you can do, especially in these times where, you know, 90% of people are still a brainwashed zombie. I'm not sure we can really stand up. I think we need to get to, you know, a critical mass. I don't know what percentage that is, but it's certainly higher than it currently is. So yeah, for me, all we can do right now is try and disengage from the system as much as possible, contribute as little as possible, don't give them any taxes so they can fucking spend it on trafficking kids around or bringing in invaders that will just completely destroy our society, which of course is what they want, so they can control us all. Once they've got us all divided, which they already have, then we can conquer us. Let me know where you're at with it all in the comments. Please click a few buttons below. See you soon.